This is a top secret GT300 Supra from PopRace, and this has to essentially be the most anticipated casting of 2025, and today we are going to take a look at why exactly that is. You heard me right, guys. This has to be one of the most anticipated castings of 2025 from PopRace, and I first saw this slightly in January, right? When my bud Bjorn Alvarez, you guys know him as Drifted, he went to Macau, and they had a little preview of the casting, and from that day onwards, me along with probably every other collector in the world knew they had to get this particular casting for themselves, and finally it's here in Singapore. It has landed, and today we have this beautiful beast with us. Without further ado, I'm not going to waste your time. Obviously the box by itself, because it's slightly golden, it does look nice, right? It feels very, very premium and nice. But without further ado, we can bring the car right out. Now, a couple of things. First things first, the proportion, and don't worry guys, this is not the only video we'll be doing out of this GT300 Supra. In fact, unfortunately, we're gonna milk the crap out of this. And what I mean by that is, we'll be doing a bunch of videos with this particular casting because there's a lot of things I want to check out. But for today's episode, for today's video, it's more of just checking the car by itself out first, and then we just kind of explore from there. So now, just starting off just by the looks of the car. Now, obviously, the whole paint job on this is very, very nice. I hope the light is doing some sort of justice to you guys, because the golden hue on this is just so nicely done. There have been a lot of renditions, and I think this is one of the best you can actually get. Rims, now rims wise, so there are also golden rims, right? But oftentimes the issue with similar colored rims is that you're often kind of like just fades into one paint job. But if you notice the rim, the color, even though it's golden, it's a slightly different sort of golden from the body, which kind of allows the rims to stand out, which is a very subtle little detail, a subtle little touch, but it makes a heck of a lot difference. Right now, the side body, obviously there's a lot of decals here. Obviously, top secret GT300, and right there in the rear, before we get to the rear, the front, we have got plastic headlight temples, guys, and these headlights look so nice. I do not know why, but this particular headlights just looks so very nicely done. Obviously, we've got a license plate, a radiator right there. We've got some more plastic bits right there, right? Or maybe they're not plastic bits, they're just painted on right there. Yep, just painted on right there. The wheels, oh yeah, the wheels, they spin amazingly well. I mean, it is it is a model car that have rolling wheels, so that's a nice little touch. The hood opens up, and we will explore the engine in a bit as well. But before we get to that, I just want to look through the car. Obviously, the front is nice. I like how, the license plate kind of sticks out at the front. It's almost as if it's not meant to have a license plate, But just for regulation's sake, he has that right there. And the rear, obviously, we've got a huge fat exhaust pipe right there. The rear, the iconic Supra rear as well. And the white body that she has on, or are they just over fenders? I don't know. At least at the rear, right? They look nice. I am someone that likes, and obviously I think this is very, very nicely done. It might not exactly be a white body, but I don't know, it's just white, right? Then we also have a carbon fiber spoiler right there. Can you guys see the carbon fiber on the spoiler right there? A very little touch, and she is girthy, right? Now, horsepower wise, I'm not gonna bore you with all the details, but she is a 700 horsepower beast. And if I just knock ever so gently to expose the engine bay right there, check that out. I mean, come on, nobody can beat this amount of decals and details, y'all. Check that out. The paint job is so nicely done. The details inside, let me just try to focus. There you go. All the little between the turbos right there, the belts, the fan, the cooling fan, the little struts, everything's just so nicely done. PopRace, wow, you guys have knocked it out of the park with this, man. I think one of the things is the proportions are very, very nicely done. In fact, when I bought this car, I actually did a quick comparison with the Supra from Inno64, and you'll be surprised that they're very, very similar in terms of quality. The ride head especially, it's very, very similar. Now, I know a lot of different brands have been doing this particular casting, so don't worry guys, in the future video, we're going to acquire all of them. We're going to do a little comparison video for you guys, because I'm sure you guys want to see that as well. But for today, it's just this Supra is the main attention, the main icon of this. Look at a roll cage, a golden roll cage right there. The one, okay, And before that, and speaking of interior details, look at the bucket seats right there. Can you guys see the bucket seats? The amount of details, even on the passenger dash right there. This is a right-hand driven car, right? So the steering wheel's on the right-hand side right there. But my favorite has to be the seats. Look at how nicely you can actually enjoy and appreciate a casting like this. I think PopRace knocked it out of the park. Obviously, we've got a decent amount of details in the base as well, which is obviously something you guys know me. I love that. I love to see that, man. And I'm just happy that PopRace did this particular casting. Let me just knock this again to open the engine, because I'm lost for words, y'all. This is very, very nicely done. PopRace. This, honestly, guys, has to be one of the best castings for this year. I know it's only April, right? So we've got a couple. I mean, we're barely halfway through the year, but honestly, this might be one of the best, if not the best casting of 2025. But obviously, we're gonna have to wait until the end of the year, because the way PopRace is going, there's also a high chance, right, that they come out with something that beats these, which is gonna be insane, man. Which is gonna be absolutely insane. But I'm super excited to see what PopRace has in the future. Let me know in the comments if you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments if you guys want to see more of such content, guys. Super excited with this particular casting, and I just can't wait to do more content for you guys. But just like, guys, this video's over. I'll see you in the next one, and I'm out. Peace.